We have a conversation, guys. No, man, you force a conversation. Two people don't know each other.
But you just gonna let your husband somebody else? Why am I? First of all, you be everybody in Atlanta and everybody knows him. You're not gonna talk to him like that. But I am. And what are you gonna do to us? And what are you gonna do?
This tea is hot, and I hope you're ready because Jasmine Bleu just dropped some bombies about Mendeecees, and let's just say, Yandy is not okay. This is not a drill. This is reality TV drama at its peak. So, picture this. Yandy Smith, the strong, confident, unshakable queen, just found out that her man, yes, Mendeecees Harris, the same one she's stood by through thick and thin, has been sneaking around with Jasmine Bleu. And girl, when I tell you the receipts are messy, I mean messy. Now, we all know Mendeecees has a history, but this time, he took it to a whole new level. Jasmine ain't just making claims, she's coming with facties, details, and tears. And Yandy? Oh, she's breaking down like any VR before. Fans are shocked, the internet is on fire, and the love and hip-hop world completely flipped upside down. So what exactly did Jasmine expose? How did Yandy react? And most importantly, can Mendeecees even come back from this? Buckle up, because this SCANDAL is about to take some wild turns. Alright, y'all, we have yet another messy, jaw-dropping scandal in the world of love and hip-hop, and this time, it's bigger, messier, and even more heart-wrenching than anything we've seen before. Because when I tell you that Mendeecees just got caged up again, oh, baby, I mean thought, red-handed, and who's at the center of it all? None other than Jasmine Bleu. Now, if you've been keeping up with the drama, then you already know that Jasmine and Mendeecees have a history. Their past has always been murky, full of whispers, allegations, and messy situations that have kept fans questioning what really went down between them. But this time, it's no longer just speculation. Because Jasmine Bleu just came out and exposed Mendeecees in the most brutal way possible. And when Yandy found out, oh, honey, it was over. So let's break this all down, because this is the kind of drama that shakes up reality TV history. It all started when Jasmine went live. Now, normally, people go live to chat with fans, spill a little tea, maybe even hint at some drama. But this wasn't just a little shade-throwing session. Jasmine came with facts. She came with receipts. She came with a story that left people's jaws on the floor. She started the live by saying, "Y'all are gonna hate me for this, but I don't even care anymore. I'm done being quiet." And boom, right from the jump, people knew something wild was coming. She took a deep breath, looked straight into the camera, and said, "Mendeecees has been lying to all of you." At this point, the comments were flying. People were like, "Durl wet it? Spile it?" Not Mendeecees being messy again. And then she dropped the bombshell. According to Jasmine, Mendeecees has been sneaking around behind Yandy's back, again. But hold up, because this ain't just some random DMs or a little side flirtation. No. This man was supposedly making big promises to Jasmine, telling her things that would make any wife lose her mind. She claimed that for the past 2 months, Mendeecees has been secretly reaching out, telling her that he's not happy, that he feels trapped, and that if he could do it all over again, he would have chosen her. Yes, y'all, he said that. And listen, when Yandy got wind of this, it was chaos. Now, at first, when people started tagging Yandy in the comments, she didn't respond. Sis was quiet, which only made people more suspicious. Because Yandy is not the type to stay silent when someone plays with her name. But then, boom, Yandy came back online hours later, and baby, she looked like she had just been through it. Eyes puffy, makeup smudged. That I just cried for 3 hours look. And the first thing she said, "I don't even know what to say right now." That's when people knew this wasn't just a rumor. This was real. But wait, because things get even MBSSIer. Sources close to Yandy say that as soon as she heard the rumors, she immediately confronted Mendeecees. And y'all, it did not go well. Picture this. Yandy storms into the room, phone in hand, voice shaking, but her energy. Oh, she was ready. She throws the phone onto the table. Boom. The messages from Jasmine are right there. Mendeecees. He looks down. His whole demeanor changes. Busted. And the first thing out of his mouth. "Babe, you really gonna believe her over me?" "Oh, not this, not this." Gaslighting 101. But Yandy, she wasn't having it. Mendeecees, I'm not stupid. Don't play with me right now. I want to hear it from you. At this point, Mendeecees is shifting in his seat. He's looking around like he's searching for an escape, but there's none. And then, boom, Yandy pulls out the second phone. Because ladies, when a woman has two phones, a man is in trouble. She plays a voicemail, and it's Mendeecees. His voice, sillier as day. And what does he say? I miss you, Jasmine. I think about you all the time. I just need to figure things out, okay? The room went silent. Mendeecees' face, pure panic. He tries to grab the phone, but Yandy snatches it back. Oh, now you want to touch my phone. But you weren't worried when you were leaving Nessags. At this point, Mendeecees knows he's done for. There's no getting out of this one. So what does he do? He tries to flip it back on Yandy. You never want to listen to me. You're always ready to believe the worst about me. What about everything I've done for this family? Oh, baby. Wrong movie. Because Yandy, she is fed up. Oh, you want to talk about FAMILA now? You want to talk about loyalty now? When you were out here, tealing a no dare woman, you wish you chose hair? At this point, Mendeecees is just sitting there, staring. Because what can he say? He knows it's over. And that's when it happened. Yandy bar kissed down. She starts crying real tears. Because this isn't just about cheating, it's about betrayal. It's about years of loyalty being thrown away like it was nothing. And listen, when a woman reaches that point where she's not even mad anymore, just hurt, that's when you know it's really over. And y'all, this is just the beginning. Because what happens next? Oh, baby, it's about to get even MESIer. Yandy stormed out of the studio, her heart pounding as she tried to process everything she had just heard. The betrayal, the lies, the humiliation, it was all too much. She had given everything to Mendeecees, stood by him through the hardest times, defended him when the world turned against him. And now it felt like all of that had been for nothing. As she drove home, tears blurred her vision, but she refused to let them fall. She wasn't about to break, not yet, but the questions kept swirling in her head. Had she been blind this whole time? Had there been signs she ignored? Was everyone else right about him all along? Her phone rang, snapping her out of her thoughts. It was Kimbella. Yandy took a deep breath and answered. Girl, what the hell is going on? Kimbella's voice was sharp, filled with urgency. I don't even know, Yandy admitted. I just confronted him, and he couldn't even deny it. He just sat there like he had nothing to say. Kimbella exhaled. Listen, you know I've always had your back, but this is bad, Yandy. Jasmine is dropping receipts like it's Black Friday. Screenshots, voice notes, she's even got pictures. Yandy's stomach dropped. Pictures? Yes, of them together in what looks like a hotel room. And girl, it's recent. Yandy felt like the air had been sucked out of her lungs. This wasn't just some random accusation. Jasmine had proof. I need to see them, she said, her voice barely above a whisper. Kimbella sent the pictures over. Yandy's hands trembled as she opened them. There was no denying it. Mendeecees was right there, sitting on a hotel bed, shirt off, Jasmine leaning into him. Another photo showed them having dinner at what looked like a fancy restaurant. And the worst part, he was smiling in every single one. The tears finally fell. I can't do this, Kimbella, she said, voice shaking. I can't keep defending him. You don't have to, Kimbella said firmly. Yandy, this man has played you too many times. The world is watching right now. Everyone wants to see what you're gonna do. And that's when it hit her. She wasn't just some woman being cheated on. She was Yandy Smith. People looked up to her. Women admired her strength, her resilience. She had built a brand, a name for herself. And now, Mendeecees was dragging it all through the mud. No, she said, wiping her tears. He's not gonna make a fool out of me. Not this time. Meanwhile, Mendeecees was scrambling. His phone was blowing up. His name was trending for all the wrong reasons. He knew he had to fix this, fast. He called Jasmine. She answered on the first ring. You better fix this mess you made, he snapped. Jasmine laughed. Oh, now you want to act mad? Don't forget, you're the one who kept coming back to me. You made those promises. I just told the truth. That wasn't for the world to hear. He hissed. You just made this 100 times worse. Worse for who? Jasmine shot back, because I'm doing just fine. Mendeecees clenched his jaw. I swear, if you don't clear this up. Or what? Jasmine cut him off. What are you gonna do, Mendeecees? You don't control me. And if you try to come for me, best believe I got even more receipts I haven't dropped yet. He knew she wasn't bluffing. Jasmine had always been unpredictable, but this time she was out for blood. Back at home, Yandy was pacing. She couldn't just sit around and wait for Mendeecees to spin the narrative. She had to get ahead of this. She grabbed her phone and went live on Instagram. The moment her face popped up on the screen, thousands of people joined. The comments were flying in. Yandy, we got your back. Sis, leave him. He ain't worth it. Are you okay? We're praying for you. She took a deep breath. I wasn't even gonna say anything, she began. But I see what's happening out here, and I'm not about to let anybody make me look stupid. The comments exploded. She continued, I've stood by my man through everything. Everything. And I always thought we were solid. But today, I saw some things that hurt me to my core. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. This is painful. But I'm strong, and I'll get through this. The support poured in. People were flooding the chat with love, telling her to walk away, to stand her ground. And just like that, the narrative started shifting. Yandy wasn't just the woman who got played. She was the woman who was taking back her power. Mendeecees, watching from his phone, knew he was losing control of the situation. He had to do something drastic. He picked up his phone and dialed Yandy. She stared at the screen as his name popped up. Was she even ready to hear what he had to say? But before she could decide, another notification came in. This time, it was from Jasmine. Another bombshell had just dropped. Jasmine had posted a video, and it was about to change everything. The internet went into meltdown mode. In the video, Jasmine sat in front of the camera, looking dead serious. I wasn't gonna say this, she began, but since everybody's talking, let me tell y'all the whole truth. The anticipation was at an all-time high. What more could she possibly reveal? She took a deep breath. Mendeecees wasn't just telling me he wanted to leave Yandy. He was planning it. He told me he had already started moving his money, getting ready for a fresh start. And you know what else? He said Yandy didn't even know what was coming. The world stopped. Fans were in shock. Was Mendeecees really about to leave Yandy and she had no idea? Was he planning this whole thing behind her back? The comments flooded in. Mendeecees is wild for this one. Yandy, sis, run. Jasmine, drop more receipts. At that moment, Yandy knew this wasn't just about cheating anymore. This was about deception on a whole new level. And she had a decision to make. Was she going to fight for this relationship? Or was it time to finally walk away for good? She took one last look at her phone before shutting it off. The world was waiting for her next move. And so was Mendeecees. The room was thick with tension. Yandy had just uncovered the shocking truth about Mendeecees and Jasmine Bleu, and the reality of his betrayal was sinking in. Her heart pounded as she scrolled through the messages, each one confirming her worst fears. It wasn't just a fling, it was a full-blown affair, and Mendeecees had been lying to her face this entire time. Meanwhile, social media was in flames. Fans were divided. Some were taking Yandy's side, calling Mendeecees a habitual liar who had never truly changed, while others believed that there was more to the story than what was being shown. Hashtags like #JusticeForYandy and #Mendeecees Exposed were trending, and the internet was eating up every new detail. Jasmine Bleu, on the other hand, was loving the attention. She started dropping cryptic Instagram stories, implying that Mendeecees had been the one chasing after her, not the other way around. One of her posts read, "When a man shows you who he is, believe him the first time." The post immediately went viral, and fans started dissecting every single word, trying to piece together the full timeline of events. At this point, Yandy was done with the tears. She was furious. This wasn't just about another woman. This was about the years of loyalty, trust, and struggle she had endured for Mendeecees. The sacrifices she made, the way she held him down while he was locked up, the battles she fought on his behalf, all of it felt like a cruel joke now. And to top it all off, Jasmine was out here acting like she was the victim. Yandy picked up her phone and made a call to one of her closest friends. "I need to set the record straight," she said, her voice steely with determination. And just like that, a sit-down interview was arranged. Yandy wasn't going to let Mendeecees or Jasmine control the narrative. She was ready to speak her truth. The interview was explosive. Yandy didn't hold back. She detailed how she had started noticing red flags months ago, but had given Mendeecees the benefit of the doubt. She talked about how his stories weren't adding up, how he was suddenly always busy, and how little things started making sense in hindsight. She even exposed some damning receipts, proving that Mendeecees had been meeting up with Jasmine behind her back while pretending to be a devoted husband. And then came the final bombshell. Mendeecees had allegedly promised Jasmine that he was done with Yandy, that they were going to be together, that he was ready to move on. The internet lost it. Fans flooded the comments section with reactions. Yandy deserves so much better. Mendeecees is the definition of once a cheater, always a cheater. Jasmine really acting like she won something. Girl, you just his next excuse. Mendeecees, meanwhile, had been quiet. Too quiet. He had yet to make a public statement, which only made things worse. People started speculating that he was trying to find a way to spin the situation in his favor. But the damage had been done. Finally, after days of silence, Mendeecees took to Instagram Live. He looked exhausted, as if the weight of the scandal had finally caught up with him. "I ain't perfect," he admitted. "I made mistakes, but you all don't know the whole story." Instead of apologizing outright, Mendeecees started painting himself as the victim. He claimed that he and Yandy had been having issues for months, that they had grown apart, and that Jasmine was just someone who understood him. He even went as far as to suggest that Yandy was only making this public to gain sympathy. That was the final straw for Yandy. She took to her own platform and fired back, saying, "I don't need sympathy. I need honesty, and if you can't give me that, then we have nothing left to talk about." Jasmine, feeling bold, added fuel to the fire by dropping what she called the final receipts. Screenshots of Mendeecees telling her that he was done with Yandy and that he was ready to move forward. The public outrage reached new heights. Fans were calling for Yandy to officially walk away, and many believed that this was the end of the road for their marriage. As for Mendeecees, he was losing support fast. Even people who had once defended him were now side-eyeing his actions. The comments under his posts were brutal. "You fumbled Yandy for this. Jasmine played you and now you look dumb. Bro, just log off." The situation was beyond messy, and the fallout was just beginning. Would Yandy finally walk away for good? Would Mendeecees try to win her back? And what would Jasmine do now that she had all eyes on her? Only time would tell, but one thing was for sure. This scandal was far from over. And there you have it. But is this the end of the story, or is there even more drama waiting to explode? Will Yandy finally walk away from Mendeecees for good, or are we about to witness yet another dramatic reconciliation? And the biggest question, are Jasmine Blue's claims legit, or is she just out here chasing clout? What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Is Mendeecees ever gonna change, or has he been like this all along? And if you think this is wild, just wait, because in the world of love and hip-hop, the drama never sleeps. So if you want to stay ahead of the biggest scandals, shocking revelations, and behind-the-scenes tea, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And don't forget to like this video if you think Yandy needs to finally make a bold move. Oh, and if you think this drama is far from over, just wait for our next video. Because trust me, this story is about to take another insane turn.